Hello, and thank you for joining. Over the next 7 minutes, you're going to see how Topograph is going to help expedite your DevOps transformation, enhance developer productivity, and detect compliance, quality, and risk in the application code. Let's get started. Before looking at the features, we need to understand how the data is sorted. In order to compare both applications and business units, the data is broken into sets and groups. As we move through the demo, it will become apparent how this allows us to visualize and compare data sets. First, let's take a look at the dashboards. Here we can see a tool analysis for both automation and CI/CD detection. Pulling this data from the application repository allows us to determine tools and technologies implemented by applications. As you can see, there are various task runners, container files, and testing tools discovered. Scrolling down further, we find the quality report. We've bundled dozens of static analysis tools for application and DevOps files. Triggering dozens of linters per commit, we track errors and quality issues over time. This automated process surfaces issues without any additional implementation to the repo or trigger in the build pipeline. Now let's take a look at the project management features. Our version control integration can crawl any Git repo source. First, it detects all commits and pull requests, identifies key events, and then processes both the commit diff and commit files. At a high level, we can see all activity of the applications in the selected group. Basic metadata such as repo type, last merge, and number of pull requests are visible here as well. After selecting an application, we can see velocity details and the current DevOps maturity. Information on commit frequency and size is extremely useful agile data. Scrolling down, we come to the contribution chart, quantified by the number of lines modified by our team members over time. Auto-generated files are omitted to more accurately capture efforts. Below the chart, we break development into features, debt reduction, debug, and defects categories, so we can better understand the overall contributions. Next, we see our list of pull requests with DevOps maturity, size, and time details. With another click, we can drill into the PR to see how all these analytics are calculated. At the top, we have our coding analytics breaking down comment percentage, code density, and average line length, all helpful for understanding lines versus quantity of code delivered. These metrics are used by other modules to calculate the user story point coefficient for comparing teams with different frameworks. The Git crawler performs complex process looping through the commit diff, performing tokenization and context filtering. Here we can see the file type, category, granular sizing metrics, comments, and tokens. For the commit diff, we have the type of modification as well as the development type per file. These tokens and flags are used to calculate the DevOps maturity, broken into 4 categories with configurable subcategories. The tool can be customized to accurately scan your company's assets. And finally, we can see the static analysis tools with corresponding files and total errors and warnings detected for both DevOps and the application code. For the C-level who has no time to spare, we've created an easy-to-read DevOps maturity scorecard to track DevOps progress. Here, our executive can quickly understand the overall maturity of the organization to help steer the business into needed or high-value initiatives. On to the DORA metrics. We have the capability to look at both our summed totals across the group or drill down into the applications. The rating percentages correspond to the low, middle, high, and elite performance benchmarking from the 2020 DORA report. And finally, we'll check out the really cool analytics engine. This aggregates the data from your applications and generates these fantastic looking reports in real time. The value stream view pulls data from across all your sets, similar to the scorecard. This allows us to visualize time series data and identify trends over the periods. For example, you can see the investment in pipelines over the last few years and understand the results. Ultimately, this helps us better understand DevOps investment versus return. We can change our period to refresh our data across the entire application, most notably when looking at analytics. By selecting a different period type, Topograph updates the charts with new data and period indicators. The options available include year, quarter, month, sprint, week, and day. Getting deeper into the data, we can compare our groups, teams, or business units, as well as for each KPI. Moving to the velocity screen, a story unfolds around how these different teams run their agile organization. Comparing commit frequency, size, count, and duration helps us explore the agile mechanics of our teams. Last but not least is the application control plane. The solution is scalable and easy to deploy, fully containerized and deployed to a single EC2 or VM utilizing Docker Swarm. Thanks for joining me for this sneak peek Topograph.